vice president on the campaign trail in several battleground states today, making stops in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. The VP just finished speaking at an event in Pennsylvania. Kamala Harris, as you can see right there, hitting the campaign trail with Republican former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, working to court conservative voters. So let's bring in NewsNation's Kelly Meyer, who was following the Harris campaign, joins us live from there in her home state of Pennsylvania. And Kelly, the campaign is really focusing in on suburban white women.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. And it's good to be spending so much time in my home state in this final stretch of the race. I feel like I'm in Pennsylvania every other day, but I'm loving it. It's a gorgeous day here in the Philadelphia suburbs where Harris was in her first stop of the day before heading out now over to Michigan and then Wisconsin for her Blue Wall Blitz. But she did have this discussion here in Malvern, Pennsylvania. It's in Chester County, sort of a purple area. There are many Democrats here. And what was interesting, there were many Democrats in this room, even though her pitch in this room was to Republican voters. So she was hoping that Republicans who are on the fence about voting for former President Donald Trump or anti-Trump were listening in. She was on that stage with former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, and they had a more intimate subdued discussion with those in the audience. It was a bit more calm than we've seen on the campaign rally on the trail, but she was able to take questions from those in the audience and really tout this country over party message and talk about the duty that voters have and how what they say a second Trump term would mean and what it would mean for the country. Here's a bit more from Vice President Harris in this discussion today. Take a listen.
In my career as a prosecutor, you've heard me say this. I never, ever asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Never. It wouldn't even occur to me to ask that. I did every time ask, are you okay? And I feel very strongly that, for example, on the issue of partisanship, yes, we're going to have disagreements, but I actively invite good ideas from wherever they come. That's why I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet, by the way.
So touting there at the end that she will have a Republican in her cabinet. So really trying to erase any lines between Democrat and Republican and say that we are all together in this, really trying to tout that unity message and patriotism as she heads into the final stretch of this race, Nicole.
And Kelly, it's not just about suburban women. Harris is also making a pitch specifically to Republicans.
Yeah, in this county we're talking about specifically, Nicole, not only did she have former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney with her, the daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney. She was a Trump supporter up until January 6th and the attack at the U.S. Capitol, which she then served on the committee investigating that attack. But she has been side by side with Harris with the banner Country Over Party around them. But it's not just Cheney as a Republican that's been inspiring her, especially in this county. She's talking about former Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley voters. They were coming out for Nikki Haley here, even in the GOP primary here in Chester County, even after Haley had dropped out of the race. They had 9,000 votes here for Haley, 24% of the vote in this county. So what her message was tailored to today was specifically to those Republican voters who may not know where to go now. They wanted to support Haley. She's no longer in the race. Do they go to former President Donald Trump because he is the Republican nominee? Her message today was that the party doesn't matter, to put, as the slogan said, country over party, and to come and join her campaign is really one of her final pitches to voters here, especially in this county, in the suburbs of Philadelphia. Nicole.
All right, Kelly Meyer, live for us there in Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.